Today I'm going to show you 5 of my go-to side dishes that can work for just about any dinner recipe. The first one is a delicious and easy sautéed peas with bacon and onion recipe that uses some frozen peas, chopped onion, a couple of bacon strips, minced garlic, grated cheese. I'm going to be using both Parmigiano and Romano, some olive oil, salt and black pepper, and I'm going to finish it off with a pat of butter. First I'm going to slice 2 thick strips of bacon into about 1-inch slices. Get them into a preheated skillet and render out all the fat. I'm going to use the oil to cook the rest of the ingredients. While that's happening, I'll chop up an onion into medium-sized cubes and add them into the skillet with the bacon that's rendering out. Season with some freshly ground black pepper and sea salt. Use the garlic press to mince a couple of cloves of garlic and add them to the pan. Give everything a good stir. Adding about a tablespoon of olive oil, that's going to add some really good flavor too. Now add the frozen peas. I'm only using about half a bag or about 5 ounces. You can also defrost the peas in advance or use fresh peas if you have them. Either way, they'll be delicious. And to make a little bit of a sauce, I'm adding a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. Stir everything together and put a lid on it to help steam the peas for a few minutes. After a few minutes, drop in a pat of butter and mix until the butter coats everything. I get the peas into a large bowl while they're still a little hot. I like to add some shredded Romano cheese and Parmigiano cheese to add some buttery nuttiness to the dish. Give it one more toss and get it into a serving bowl. Now tell me that doesn't look good. Oh, you get the bacon, the butter, saltiness of the cheese. Awesome. So the next side dish is a roasted garlic parmesan butternut squash. For the butternut squash, I peel and cube it into 1 to 2 inch cubes and add them to a large bowl with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, minced garlic, onion powder, oregano, salt and black pepper, and some grated Parmesan cheese. Then I get it into a preheated air fryer oven basket at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes until the edges get crispy and they're soft inside. And when they come out, I add a pat of butter and more grated cheese. Garlic Parmesan butternut squash. My next side is an easy sautéed mushroom and pesto bruschetta. First I'll need to slice a few mushrooms. I'm using white button mushrooms for this, but you can use any mushrooms you like. Get them into a preheated skillet with a tablespoon of oil, butter, or better yet, you can use bacon fat. Add salt and black pepper. Some chopped garlic, about 1 to 2 cloves should work. Continue to cook and stir until they release their water and are nicely roasted, like this. Then I added about 2 tablespoons of my homemade pesto, which I made using basil from my Click and Grow garden. Make sure everything is thoroughly mixed. Toasted a few slices of artisan bread in the air fryer until golden. While the bread is a little warm, I spread more of that basil pesto and top it with a spoonful of sautéed mushrooms. I like to add some crushed red pepper flakes and grate some Parmigiano cheese over the top, and I'll enjoy the first slice before anyone else gets to them. The next side is baked mac and cheese. Salt and boil your water. For the pasta I'm using orecchiette, or you can use shells or elbows, and cook it a couple minutes on the done. While the pasta is cooking, slice a couple of bacon strips, chop the garlic, and get the bacon rendering into the skillet. Then remove it when it gets crispy and don't get rid of that bacon oil. When the pasta is done, drain it and get it back into the hot pot. Add a pat of butter and about 8 ounces of the medium queso sauce. I like using Tostitos version. I'm adding in some shredded fontina cheese, grated Parmigiano, and thick shreds of mozzarella. Stir it all together until the cheese begins to melt. Pour in about a half cup of chicken broth. This will create a smooth and creamy sauce. I'm using the oven-safe silicone casserole, which fits perfectly in my air fryer basket. Make sure to get all this goodness into the casserole. Add some more shredded mozzarella. Get that crispy bacon on top and make sure to save some for the end. Some chopped green onions, and for crunch, add seasoned panko breadcrumbs on top. Now get the casserole in the air fry basket, load it into the air fryer, and bake at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes or until the top is golden and crispy. This doesn't have to be a side dish, you know. If you're a fan of loaded French fries, then this side is for you. I'm using these frozen waffle fries to make my loaded fries. I get about half the bag into my air fry basket and bake them until golden. And while that's happening, I get the bacon ready. After removing it from the skillet, I pour the rendered bacon oil into a large stainless steel bowl. And I use a stainless steel bowl instead of a glass bowl because it helps retain the heat for the waffle fries. Now that the waffle fries are done, let's get them into the bowl while they're still hot. Add some chopped green onions, shredded mozzarella, cheddar cheese or Mexican blend, and a little crushed black pepper. Give it a couple of tosses in the bowl to coat everything. Oops, I almost forgot the bacon. Get it all into the oven-safe silicone casserole. And I'm breaking up some leftover rotisserie chicken I had in the fridge and just shredded some of the white and the dark meat on top. I coated the top with some tostito queso and a couple of big handfuls of the shredded cheddar cheese. Placed it in the air fry basket and loaded it in the air fryer. Then I bake it at 350 degrees for about 5 minutes or until the cheese is melted. When the fries are done, I just keep it in the casserole to serve it. And I finish it off with more crispy bacon, green onions, and some sour cream. And of course, give it a taste for quality control.